Greetings, Aquarius and Aquarius rising. This is your Western forecast for February 2025. This is going to be one of the more fortunate months for the year. That is because the new moon is in Aquarius, so there's a lot to talk about that with you, but it's on January the 29th, and we have a new moon every 4 weeks. Wherever the new moon falls in your chart is where your attention and priorities are being directed. Being that's in Aquarius, and you are in Aquarius, it's putting an emphasis on visibility, leadership, major new beginnings. But reason why, this is part of the reason why this is one of the best months of the year, and to grab those opportunities and run with it, is this new moon will be in harmony or forming a trine to Jupiter. So Jupiter is emphasizing and influencing the new moon. Jupiter is prosperity, optimism, luck. Jupiter wants to seek knowledge, so it can bring in education. That Jupiter loves to travel because it's very expansive energies. So that's number one, that all of February, this new moon, wherever it falls in anybody's horoscope, it's being influenced by lucky, prosperous Jupiter. Number two, ambitious, assertive Mars has been retrograde once every 2 years since December the 6th. But February the 23rd, it finally goes direct, releasing all this pent-up energies. Jupiter went retrograde on October the 8th in Gemini, and it goes direct February the 4th and remains in Gemini until June the 9th. So this is a really favorable, fortunate new moon throughout February. And Mars and Jupiter has been, retrograde and stuck and spinning its wheels. But this is even better for Aquarians because Jupiter's in Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. Aquarius is an air sign. So the Jupiter is in this flowing, positive, supportive energies for Aquarius coming from the 5th house of creativity, romance, children, investing. So overall, this is a really favorable month. And Aquarius, also Libra, are one of the signs that are going to have the most opportunities for benefits and advancements. But before I break all that down, we still got to look to Venus, what's happening with Venus, what's happening on the new moon and the full moon. Before I go there, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. All right. If you're born around January the 29th, give or take a day or two, there's going to be this major new beginning. 2 weeks later is the full moon on the 12th. So if you're born within a day or two of February the 12th, your birthday, and this is also as rare as a new moon, every decade or so, it is falling in your 7th house of relationships. But before I break the relationship thing down, if you're just born or if your birthday falls on a full moon, one thing it's going to represent is it's going to be a very eventful year, a lot of changes, a lot of issues with relationships in general, because that's what full moons do. But this full moon for Aquarius is in your 7th house of relationships. So enough of the relationship for now. Let's go back to the sun is in Aquarius. Now the new moon is in Aquarius till the end of February. But the sun will leave Aquarius in your 1st house of new undertakings, new beginnings, new confidence, and go into Pisces February the 18th till March the 20th. So all this new beginnings and confidence and visibility is still the major theme through all of February, with that positive, lucky Jupiter bringing you lots of benefits and protection. But then when the sun moves into Pisces, it's moving into the 2nd sector from Aquarius. The 2nd sector deals with income. Now, it's not going to start becoming the dominant theme, but come into March, the new moon in Pisces in your 2nd house of income, March, one of the dominant themes will be on your income and how to increase it. But the dominant theme is new beginnings and visibility and taking charge and leadership until the end of February. It's just that by February the 18th, you're now starting to think, how do I monetize and make more money with these new projects and new beginnings? Now, Jupiter is in Gemini, in an air sign, in harmony with Aquarius. It's already been talking about how favorable that will be. Now, the Jupiter in Gemini is 5 signs past Aquarius. And so from February the 4th, when it goes direct, it's remaining in the 5th house, excellent with Aquarians, until June the 9th. The 5th house represents a number of areas. But the 5th house is the house of pleasure, of romance, of children. Now in business, it's about gambling and speculation and investing, because it's a risk-taking area, because it's very playful. And being playful, it can deal with fun and games and sports, whether it's just playing tennis with your friends or more with professional sports. The Jupiter, as it goes direct, because when it was retrograde, things were like sluggish, slow down, what you were hoping for didn't pan out as you were expecting. But now February the 4th, now all the promises can start more manifesting with 5th house. So if you're in professional sports, that's the 5th house. The Jupiter is bringing a lot of success, advancement. But the 5th house can also be children. And you might be feeling really proud about your children. Or you could be conceiving or giving birth and feeling really happy and optimistic about children in that regard. The 5th house is creative. And so children are very playful and creative. And so the Jupiter in the 5th house can also be giving birth, 5th house, to creative new projects, the 5th house also. Now, Mars went retrograde December the 6th in Leo, in your 7th house of relationships. So there might have been some irritabilities, some resentments, some frustrations in the worst case scenario with Mars retrograding in your 7th. But as it was retrograding and going backwards, it moved into your 6th house the first week of January. And it's retrograde, remaining in retrograde in the 6th house till February the 23rd. But then it's going direct, February 23rd, going forwards, being more assertive, aggressive, going after achieving your goals, really strong until April the 17th. Now, the 6th house, where there's going to be all this drive and ambition and activity, I looked at two big areas with the 6th house: work and health. When it comes to health, and the Mars is retrograde until the 23rd, you might be having more aches and pains. You might be more accident prone, so you're going to watch out for that. You may be feeling more tired. You just don't seem like you have the energies. There might even be minor surgeries in case there was an accident when the Mars, because Mars is that warrior planet, can deal with weapons in war, and that's why Mars also deals with cutting and surgeries and aches and pains. And all that could have been more frustrating in January till February the 23rd. But then it starts to move forwards, being having more direction, being more, taking more of a leadership role when it comes to health matters. For most people, Mars going direct in the 6th house is about being more motivated to exercise, to gain strength, to build your muscles. So that's positive. The 6th house also deals with the day-to-day job routine. So with Mars in retrograde in the 6th house, work might be slowed down. There might be more tension, irritability with co-workers. But then when it goes direct, it is when you could be, for those next 2 months, you could be really busy at work. But Mars is very ego-oriented because it rules Aries. And Mars doesn't want to hang out and work with others. But prefers to take the lead or work alone. So you might be in a more leadership, independent role come February the 23rd over those next 2 months. But certainly with that Mars in the 6th, you're going to be very busy. Now, the Venus is that planet of love and desire and creativity. It moves into Aries on February the 4th. And it's going to go retrograde in Aries on March the 1st. And it will retrograde until April the 11th. More on that in next month's video. But when Venus retrogrades every year and a half, it tests relationships. You reevaluate your relationships. You could be reevaluating any creative projects. So that's Venus. But Venus on February the 4th moves into Aries. And before it goes retrograde, it's slowing down. So by March the 1st, it's at a standstill and then slowly going backwards. So when planets are slowing down, whether to go direct or retrograde, when planets are slowing down, they become more intensified. And Venus is one of the great benefics. And so it's going to be so much more intensified. And Aries, Venus is in Aries. Aries is a fire sign compatible with Aquarius, an air sign, fire and air, compatible. Now the Venus, which is going to be really strong, and it's really benefic energies, is in your 3rd house. Now, the 3rd house is the house of communications, learning, writing, speaking. And with the Venus, you're loving all of that, or it's all this creative expression of design, of acting, of singing. That's that strong Venus in the 3rd house. 3rd house is also the house of siblings. Venus is planet of love and cooperation, and that so you might feel closer with a sibling, get more connected with a sibling. The third house is also about sales, selling yourself at a job interview or selling products. And Venus is that planet it's very prosperous, it's very popular. So if you're trying to sell yourself to get a job or get more projects, or if you're just trying to sell yourself, the Venus, people are going to really be impressed by you. They're going to like you. So whatever you're trying to sell or market, it's going to do very well in February. Now, let's go back to relationships, because the Mars retrograded in your 7th house of relationships in December. Now, Mars doesn't go back into your 7th house until after April the 17th. But I was saying how the full moon always tests relationships in general, because it's the sun opposite the moon. The sun is the individual opposite the moon that deals with the public, so it's you against the world. But this full moon is on February the 12th, and it's in a square or a hard tense aspect to surprising, unexpected Uranus. And so there's this surprise, this unexpected upset or excitement with the full moon around the 12th in your 7th house of partnerships or contracts. So there might be a whole unexpected partnership or contract offer that comes in out of the blue. There might even be an unexpected upset in a close relationship, but it's only lasting for a couple of days, and that expansive lucky Jupiter is in your 5th house of romance and fun and games. So any kind of hiccup with a relationship, any kind of unexpected upset would probably only last a day or two. So I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.